What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp. Today we're going to be building a very sexy looking black and white gaming PC with the new NZXT H700i Case. Just got this in recently and I love the way it looks. So we're going to be putting together a pretty beastly looking PC, sticking to that black and white theme here inside the H700i. But starting off with the case itself, I absolutely love how clean it looks. It reminds me of a perfect hybrid between the NZXT H400 and their S340 Elite cases. I have it here in black and white. You can get it in a all blackout variant, black and red, as well as black and blue. But you guys know me in the channel, we usually go for a black and white build. And the first thing I noticed when I took it out was for the case construction, the steel frame went in the other direction instead of glossy, which they've done in the past. It's more of a powdered matte steel frame and I really love it. You combine that with the tempered glass side panel, and you got a winner in my book. Always a fan of tempered glass. So up top of the I/O ports, you have two USB 2.0s, plus two USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports, and your audio and mic jack, plus the power button. And in terms of outside appearance, that's it. No buttons, no logos. Very simple. And checking out the insides, you have a lot of room to build here. You can fit a mini ITX, a micro ATX, or your standard ATX motherboard. You can also fit a GPU in here up to 413 millimeters long, so odds are your graphics card's gonna fit just fine. And in terms of RAD support, definitely enough room. Up front, you have support for two 140 or three 120 millimeters with the push-pull configuration. Then up top, you can either fit two 140 or three 120s. But now let's get into the good stuff, some of the newer changes that make this case really stand out. So first, I guess you can call it this white shroud off to the right side of the case, which is gonna be great for cable management and hiding a lot of your cables. But behind that, you're gonna notice this little device. And it's actually called a smart device. It's gonna let you digitally control the fans and your RGB lighting, because if you take a look up top, there is an RGB light strip. And it's pretty much gonna act like a Hue Plus and the Grid Plus all in one. So you plug your fans and additional RGB light strips into here, and you can then all control it within the CAM software. The device itself has 3 slots for fan control, which are then plugged into the 3 fans that are on the front of the case. They also branch out into cables, so you can support up to 9 fans all on this little device here. And the smart device is also going to integrate their new adaptive noise reduction inside the CAM software, where it gauges your temps inside the build, the fan speeds, the RPMs, and how much your build is under load while you're gaming or rendering, videos or effects, anything like that. It takes all that and it will, kind of scan it and then reduce the fan speeds so you're getting still ample cooling, but keeping the fan sounds down to a lower decibel so it's not as loud when it's on your desktop. And then on the bottom of the power supply shroud, I really like this. It's this toolless bracket system pretty much, where it's kind of like a quick release for installing those 2.5-inch trays there. They snap right into place. So whether you're putting in an SSD or an additional NZXT Hue Plus or something, don't gotta worry about screws, it just snaps right into place there. And speaking of those drive bays, you can hold up to 7 2.5-inch drives and 3 3.5-inch drives. Then on the back side, instead of your traditional thumb screws, there's a little button you press it and the back panel just comes off. The cable management channels are phenomenal here. You get tons of room to route your cables efficiently so it's not bowing out and sticking to the back case. And while the S340 included the NZXT puck, we don't have that this time, but it did include a very, very tiny mini one on the back here. Again, just for some extra cable management so you could, wrap things around that and tie it all down. So essentially the new H700i is kind of like a smart case that takes advantage of new features and integrations with their smart device, ties it to their software, all while staying very, minimal and clean looking. Let's get this build underway. So first for the CPU, I wanted to go with an AMD build this time around. Just, had it lying around. Haven't done a lot of AMD builds in the past, so we're going with the Ryzen 7 1700. I feel like for the price point at around $300, the 1700 is a pretty good sweet spot on the market if you are looking for a Ryzen CPU. And obviously for cooling, the Kraken X52, it's NZXT's really nice looking liquid cooler. We're gonna throw some of their RGB air fans in this as well. Definitely keep it in the ecosystem. As for the motherboard, since it is a black and white build, I wanted to stick to a black carbon motherboard to look nice on the inside. It's the MSI B350 Gaming Pro carbon motherboard. It does have some LED lights and RGB features integrated as well, so if you want to do some accent lighting, this will have us covered. And for the RAM, to make it extra flashy, going with the G.Skill Trident Z RGB RAM, we got 32 gigs here. Again, I want to stick to a black and white build, but with some of the white accents on the inside, the RGB is gonna make it look even nicer. And then for the graphics card, you gotta stick with the color theme, going with the 1GB GTX 1080 Ti. It's one of the newest models, you're getting 11 gigs of VRAM, and it's looking pretty killer, gonna fit in perfectly. Throw in some SSDs so it's lightning fast, capable power supply, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so it's been a long day of building, filming, and editing, but the end result with the NZXT H700i, I think, is beautiful. I am loving the way it came out. Extremely just simple and clean, and I love that. I'm really a fan of the way they're mixing this new smart technology in their cases with that just really simple and minimal aesthetic here. So I'm a big fan of it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, a nice white and black build I went with, but I did want to throw in some RGB flare in case I wanted to accent some of those white highlights on the inside. If you want to check anything in this video out, I will have all the hardware and stuff listed down below for you, but I'm really hoping you're digging this new black and white build we did for the channel with the NZXT H700i Case. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm tired. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.